can often be seen tending his flowers, trees, and herbs on a daily basis, along with venturing out hiking in our local parks and trails. We are all so fortunate to live where the sun shines year-round, giving each of us the opportunity to enjoy and explore our spectacular state. This morning is Chuck's 6th speech, so I will be listening for voice volume, pitch rate, and quality, use of pauses, vocal variety, and his vocal variety is smooth and natural. His speech is titled The Art of Persuasion. Please welcome Chuck Cohen.
Good morning, Toasters.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see everybody here bright and early on a Monday morning. My speech today, as Laura mentioned, is the art of persuasion. Mastering the core influence skills needed in today's world is something that's going to help you in sales, leadership, and relationship building. It may come as somewhat of a surprise to some of us, but if you approach it from an ethical standard, look at it from the best interest of both people, you could influence colleagues, fellow co-workers, and yes, even your management and superiors. There's a number of decision triggers that you could use day in, day out to help you promote yourself and your ethical agenda and help you become persuasive. It's really an art when you think about it. First, I think we have to take care of is striking a balance. You have to have a balance in any kind of relationship for it to be fair, for it to be enduring and long-lasting. Another trait, an important trait, is something called scarcity. Scarcity is, it's a human thing that everyone wants is more of everything, but you've got to, again, strike a balance. It's important to have any kind of relationship or sales event give something to one person and also give something to the other person. Authority. One of the things that often happens is, before you make any kind of lasting decision, what you want to do is talk to someone that you have respect for, someone that could give you some advice. This is important because, you know, you've got to make the decision. You're walking the plank. Do I go in or do I not go in? Let me talk to someone and give me some guidance. Maybe that person, let's say, might be their own guidance. They can offer their own counsel. But for many of us, they'll just run it by. Maybe it's just a gut check, if you will. A look-see to see if, does this make sense? Should I move forward with it? Is it the right decision for me? And will I be happy with it? Consistency. You know, when you put yourself into a position, you've got to empathize with the people you're working with. For instance, people are going to keep their same behavior, largely, same attitudes about things. So work within that framework. If people remember, I had a speech about the New York Yankees a while back. I'm a Yankee fan, for people who don't know. I could read the online scores, follow the pitch count, and I do, behind my computer. But yet I have to go out every morning and get the paper to read the same thing I read online maybe 8 or 10 hours earlier. But that's me. I think there's professional help for that. I'll just go see somebody. But keep in mind, it would be equivalent to having a Boston Red Sox fan, for instance, change his stripes. I guess that's a pun intended. Become a Yankee fan, because we got to be empathetic to the losing ways. That's not something they're going to do. You should recognize it. That's no different than me bringing Julie to lunch and say, Julie, I'm going to treat you to a country fried steak and curly fries, and we're going to wash it down with about a half gallon of high fructose drink. It's probably not going to happen. So understand that. The other thing is consensus. Whether you know it or not, We're followers. We are followers. I'm going to follow Diane to the middle of the lectern. And I'll tell you this is why politics is so effective in a bandwagoning approach. If someone starts saying, this is the candidate, he stands for the best things, they try to plant the message, but you know what? That's what makes people do what they do. It's just one of the human traits. No one wants to be a lone wolf. Not many people do. It's much easier and much less risk averse if you just follow somebody. Do what they're doing. It's got to be right. Pilar wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't right. Steve wouldn't be doing it if it wasn't right. So that's one of the traits. And you got to just try to engender that in your relationships and your sales techniques. Everybody's doing it. The guy down the street has bought from me. So now I think big three, or the last three, are liking. You know, I think if they take you back 1,000 years or 1,000 years forward, you are not going to buy or you're not going to form a relationship with someone unless you like them. That's just basic one-on-one kind of stuff. You certainly had salespeople, let's say, come into your life who were obnoxious, pushy, arrogant, dressed too loudly, were not prepared. You didn't want to do business with them. You shut them down. They could have had the best offer at the best price, but it didn't really much matter. The other thing I would say that's very imperative is trust. You have to trust the person you're doing business with, or you really don't have a basis for establishing a business relationship with. And I guess it goes without saying, respect. You have to respect the person you're doing business with. You have to think they have the same core values that you have. You don't want to do business with, you know, a sex offender if you're an electrical engineer. I'm not picking on you. I mean, I saw your hands, so I thought I'd pick at you. Anyways, just not likely to match right there. So if you can incorporate, in closing, all these traits in any kind of combination, or certainly singularly some of these traits, you're going to be a much more effective, persuasive influence. So go out there and make this stuff happen. It's there for you. The world is your apple. Thank you.
Thank you, Chuck.